Hey there, welcome to Frames TM. Subscribe to the channel. Help me reach 6,000 subscribers soon. We're going to look into the My Menu option, the My Menu thing here on your Z6III. It's a very, very powerful setting. It's a very powerful menu. And you want to quickly reach the My Menu because you're going to have a lot of things listed inside that menu. As you can see, I've listed a lot of stuff in my menu. So where do you find it? You find it when you press on the menu button. You find it right at the bottom of your menu section options or pages. If you have followed my last guide on how to set up the function buttons and how to set the camera up Z6III up for autofocus, I must have told you that you have to come down inside the custom shooting menu and then inside F controls, then inside custom controls shooting, then the FN1 button should be set to access the top item in my menu, the top item. So that's what I've done. So what happens is the moment I press on the FN1 button here, I go directly to what I have set it up to. The top item on my menu is actually the autofocus, manual focus, subject detect options, and I have now kept it to people. So let's say, and she's in focus right now. Let's say I don't want her to be in focus. Okay, I quickly want to switch off subject detect, and then you see it's not on an eye anymore. Okay, it's going to focus on wherever else but not on her because the subject detect thing is off. And in wide area AF mode, my display button is set to wide area AF. Let me show you again. Go to the pencil menu, go inside F controls, and then go inside F2 custom controls shooting. If you see, the display button is actually set to auto area AF, which means it's going to choose the entire area and it's going to look for a subject. But unfortunately, I haven't set it to any kind of subject detect. I just switched it off from the autofocus, manual focus, subject detect options list, which I quickly accessed through my FN1 button. But if I go back to people, or even if I go back to auto, the moment I press on display again, it's going to find an eye, right? But there are situations when I don't want to do that. I want to focus not on her eye. Maybe it's a bride. She's in the frame, but I want to focus on the ring she's wearing. I want the camera to ignore the eye for a moment. I have two options right now based on my settings. I press on the 3D tracking button, which I've set it up, the AF on button on my camera is set up as the 3D tracking button. I press it, it's going to look at what is in front of the camera and at the center of the camera, center of the frame. It's going to prioritize that. But oftentimes that doesn't happen. Look, I'm slightly off center, and it's confused, right? It doesn't do that. I'm slightly off center and it's going back to something else. So I want to use the display button, but the display button is now detecting a subject. So what do? I quickly press on the function FN1 button, switch off subject detection, press the display button. Hey, look at this. It's detecting what's right in front of me because the system is now free of the burden of subject detect. Now on more expensive cameras like the Z8 and Z9, there's a subject detect override function. It's called a recall function, and you can set it to again the FN menu or any other the FN1 button or any other button, and you can quickly override your subject detect. But in this case, you have to go through a couple of clicks, but that's all right. That's because you're not paying $4,000 so, or $5,500 for the Z9. All right, now quickly come down to my menu. How to add things to my menu is you come down. I've added so many things in my menu, right? You can screen record and you can just follow what I've done, but I'm going to take you through. You basically click on add items. All right. Let's say I want to remove an item. So what do? I go to, I select this item. I basically go to remove items, right click on it, come down. I'm going to show you how to remove this particular item and then add it back. just do OK, click on this, and then touch delete here, or touch delete from the camera here. Confirm, it's done. Now when you look at this, I don't have that option anymore. I can add it back from these settings. So the way to add things is essentially to click on add items and then go to let's start with the photo shooting menu and start with the important functions here. Like I have actually added tone mode, I have added metering, I have added autofocus, manual focus, subject detect options. That's the first thing on my list. So I just click OK. This item is already included in my menu. So let me take you through the items that I've actually added. Okay. On the top of the list, you have the autofocus, manual focus, subject detect option. Right now it's set to off. I can set it to auto. Then you actually come down and the first item is for autofocus, manual focus, subject at autofocus, manual focus, subject detection options for stills. Next, autofocus, manual focus, subject detection options for video. You're going to find the next, the video subject detection in the video menu. Then after that, you add G5 or AF speed. That's going to determine your speed for video autofocus, and as you can see, I have set it to 5 faster. I wanted to really be very responsive when it comes to video autofocus. Next, you add G6. How do you find G6? Okay, let me just quickly show you that. Go to the pencil menu and you can see it's kind of numbered like that, A, B, C, D, E, G. So anything that's in G is basically from your custom settings menu and video options. So I come here. So, yeah, AF tracking sensitivity is the next one that I've added, G6, and I've set it to high. You can choose, you can just try things with different lenses. Most of it, I think, in between 3 and 2 is good. Okay, so yeah, all right. Next, I've added tone mode. You're going to find that in the photo shooting menu. Tone mode is great because you can choose between HLG or SDR. You don't want to, this is not a primary thing. I hardly shoot photos in HDR, but if I ever need it, I've just kept it there. Okay, I just parked it in my menu. If I ever want it, I can quickly find it out. And these are like things you forget, but there could be quite a cool option, cool thing for it to use. So I just kept it in my menu. Video file type as quick access. All right, it's not very difficult to find. It's very easy to find within video record button. It's on the first page, but at times I want to find it even faster, so I've kept it here in my menu. Second, next to that, after that, I've kept B4, matrix metering face detection on. I can switch it off, but you know, if I'm shooting portraits and I'm using, let's say, complete auto mode or aperture priority or shutter priority, and then the metering is going to take place, right? It's going to prioritize the exposure on the face. So it's quite a handy thing to keep it easily accessible to you. That's why I have kept it on the My Menu list. And it's quite easy to forget that you have something like this. And then you will be going crazy. If you remember that there was an option like that, you'll go crazy about when you want to find it while shooting. After that, audio input selection, you can choose between line and external mic. I've set it external mic, or I can choose line. But the option is in front of me here. Metering options, again, there are situations when I want to use highlight weighted metering actually. So I've kept it handy. Most of the times I'm actually using matrix metering. So most of the times I'm all right. I've just listed time code here because I don't use it that often, but if I ever need it, it's handy. It's quickly in front of me. Monitor brightness is something that I quickly want to have access to. Viewfinder brightness, again, is something that I quickly want to have access to. I want to quickly show you here how to actually If you think that the order and the priority of things is not right, like for example, hide is zoom is here, I'm going to delete that. But what if I want to deprioritize it? I want it to be at the bottom of the list. So then what I have to do is I have to come down and then right click on rank items. Then I go find that particular item that I want to change the rank of. I choose hide. I just click OK on hide as zoom, and it's now highlighted. Come down. I can come down and I can put it at the very end. Done. Okay. So now you see it's actually back here at the bottom of the list. All right. So monitor brightness and viewfinder brightness are two things that I thought is very, I wanted to on the list, because I also have it on the menu. Actually, I have the monitor viewfinder brightness on the menu, but again, I've kept it on the my menu list, because if I ever want to add a different item on my menu and I have to remove monitor or viewfinder brightness for some time, at least it is always there on my menu. So the monitor brightness thing is very, very important for me to quickly access. All right, high FPS viewfinder display, again a monitor setting. I have kept it there, it's switched off, but whenever I need it I can switch it and come here and switch it on. Maximum shots per burst, when you are in burst mode and you're doing 15 frames a second or 20 frames a second. This camera can do 20 frames a second in electronic shutter mode. So when you do that, for example, you might go overboard and then keep shooting 500 shots in just one go. Maybe you want to limit that. So I have kept it into 100. So after 100, you can set it to infinity as well. All right, you can see that. But 100 is good. You can go to infinity. By default, it's at 200, but 100 to me sounds reasonable. Multiple exposure. Again, it's parked here. It's also on my eye menu, but I parked it here as well. Pixel shift shooting. Yeah, I parked it. This one here. This is very important. So subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. And now, as you've seen, quickly accessing the my menu list is important, and a lot of things can be parked here. Another option is to actually list your items inside the I button, but it has to be done very smartly. The I button should also be set up smartly for both photo and video. They're two different beasts altogether. They're very different from each other. The my menu is a common list. The I menu, however, is separate for video and for photo. So I'm going to see you there on this video where I actually discuss how I have set up the I menu for the Nikon Z6III for both photo and video. Also, if you want to see, if you have missed how to set up autofocus and the custom buttons for this camera for photo and not for video but for photography, then watch this or this. The video will be somewhere. So I'm going to see you soon with another one soon.